as in gorgeous. Are you feeling audacious today?
I'm audacious. I am just audacious to the nth degree.
So are you up for a little adventure?
I think we need to go on an adventure. You know, it's been pinned down, and all of a sudden we went from winter into spring.
Yeah. So we are going to mount up and come along with us. We are going to have an audacious adventure.
Yay! Okay, here we go.
This is part of our audacious adventure today.
Yeah, we're getting audacious. We're out here, we're practicing new words. Nancy's playing dictionary.
Yeah. And this is probably going to
sunglasses off.
This is going to scare Mary to death because we are going to be going through a state forest.
Oh no.
Yeah, but she's always afraid I'm going to kick her out. And
she's going to drop me in the woods. You guys know it. Sooner or later it'll be an ending where I'm not in the picture.
So yeah, so if the car comes back without Mary,
come look for me.
Yeah.
Where are we going, Nancy?
Well, we just got off the interstate at Millston.
Okay.
Which is in our sister county, Jackson.
Okay.
And we are going to look at the Rustic Road that is in Jackson County. It's number 54 in the Wisconsin Rustic Roads. Now, we've done two before. We did the one in Galesville.
Yes.
And then we did the one in La Crosse, which I thought wasn't very rustic, but...
Well, it's the county. That's mostly urban. What are you going to do?
Yeah. And I looked up and it said that there has been like rustic roads, this whole idea in Wisconsin. They've had it for 40 years now. They've got like 124.
Okay.
And if you Google it, there will be a nice thing on there that tells you, a map where you can go to all these different rustic roads. And some of the criteria, I had to write that down in my little book so I could tell you what a rustic road is.
Cheat sheet. Nancy's got a cheat sheet. She can't do it from memory anymore.
Boy, that's true. I barely remember my name. Okay. It must have outstanding natural features to be a rustic road. Well, that kind of describes you and me.
I do not have, well, I guess I have rustic features. Nancy.
Yeah, it says natural features.
Natural features.
Right, yeah. We haven't been pumping in the Botox, so I guess we're pretty natural.
I was pretty natural last night. My hands were black from digging in the earth, planting trees.
Hey, that's natural.
There you go.
The road has to be lightly traveled, which is fine. I don't want to be fighting traffic.
No, both of us are anti-traffic.
And there's not, this road, a rustic road is not supposed to have any major improvements that, are scheduled for it.
So it's going to be drive slow time.
Yeah. And it must be at least 2 miles in length, and it can't be a one-way deal. It can't be a dead end.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are going to go, this is exciting, folks. We are going to be on Jackson County's Rustic Road, and it's 12 miles.
Okay.
And it's going to go through the Black River State Forest. And
ooh, maybe we'll see some elk or some wolves or something, right?
Well, it promised a lot of viewing of wildlife.
Oh, we'll see what we can see.
And this is not Name That Road.
Not?
No.
Name That Road.
No, because who would ever get this one? Nobody would know where we are.
So are we going to call this a rustic adventure?
Yeah, I think they called it country cruises.
Oh, country cruises.
Right, and we are in the country. We'll be in the forest. And right now we're just going to go up here and turn left on this road. And I'm just noticing these trees here. They're all mossy, aren't they?
They're mossy.
Yeah, I thought that was how you could tell which way was north. because there would be moss on the north side of the tree.
Well, that's what I was always told, but we'll have to check that out as we're driving.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be the rule here, does it?
Well, you never know. It's pretty thick. It's pretty
thick.
pretty thick in there. That's gonna hold the moisture, and maybe that's what causes the mold on all the sides of the tree.
So if Mary gets pushed out of the car here, by the time they find her, she might be full of green moss.
I told you. She's waiting. She's waiting to throw me out of this car. I'll be laying in the ditch bleeding. And she'll be laughing.
No, I speed away.
Yeah, she speeds away.
Yes,
and
okay.
we're gotta turn this and adjust this because people won't know where we're going.
That's right.
Okay.
This has got a big sign here, so you
and
can't.
We're gonna do this, and Nancy's gonna take this camera.
Okay,
and
there's the big sign.
And then we've got
another big sign.
And here's a sign right here that tells you a little bit of information.
Yeah, they got all kinds of things, and here we go. This is okay.
See, look at that. Right away, she's trying to bump me out the door.
This road is paved too, and I had to check on that because I thought, I don't think I want to drive 12 miles on some kind of a sand road out here.
Well, and Nancy, we've got a lot of moisture. And Nancy, you're kind of slipping. You know, am I supposed to be doing the camera work?
Well,
I gotta hire better help, Nancy.
She wants me to drive and film at the same time.
Drive and film, yes.
And this is May, early May. And I figure that's a good time to get out here. I'm afraid in the summer there might be a lot of biting bugs.
Oh, we should come back here and see if we can get attacked by the
deer flies.
The deer flies. Oh. That was a pretty cool show.
Yeah, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Don't open the windows. Don't open the windows.
They were bouncing off our windshield. Fans, if you did not see those programs, those Name the Roads. I think that was Emery Road.
I think it was.
And Rodstead Coulee or something by Ettrick. Oh my God. If we would have gotten out, I think those deer flies, they would have
they would have sucked the blood right out of us.
We would have been just skeletons.
Now, Nancy, here's an oddball question.
Uh-oh.
I know that, and I was a child, which
you
was...
were?
I was.
Yes.
I was.
Yay.
Was this part of where the fires were about 40, maybe 50 years ago?
Yes.
Was this part that burned?
I believe it was, because I think that was like, what, 1976 or so when they had that fire?
Yep, and that was a dandy. You know, and it looks to me like there's quite a bit of fuel in these woods.
Yeah.
And, you know, for those of you watching, when you say there's fuel in the wood, yeah, we can go and cut it down and burn it. But it's the understory that gets really, really thick, and then dead branches and leaves and
piles up.
Yep, piles up in the woods. And, you know, we don't get fire like there was in the old days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I've been reading lots of things that say it would be a good thing to have a fire go through woods because it really regenerates a lot of things.
Well, clean stuff up, right?
Yep.
And I've noticed as I've been driving around, a lot of folks that have put in these prairie stands, they've been burning them off. Bruce and I saw some yesterday, I think it was, when we were tooling around the countryside, you know, driving around checking things out. And we did notice that people are also heavy into getting the corn in the ground, Nancy.
And getting on their lawnmowers.
But aren't we doing no mow May? Do you do no mow May? You're a beekeeper.
I know.
You're a beekeeper. I know you are.
Yeah, I do. I do a little mowing, but I try to mow it fairly high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just noticed that my violets are coming on.
Yep.
I was worried because the grasses got ahead of them. And I thought, oh no, the violets aren't going to come through because we've got a lot of violets in our yard.
I love those.
So I try really hard to be a firm participant in No Mow May. Maybe because I'm just lazy and don't want to mow my lawn.
Heck, I could be no mow all summer, really, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but then it looks a little tangly mess.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but you know, I don't like having to spend a lot of my summertime sitting on a lawnmower, but the one we've got goes pretty fast, so it's not too bad.
Oh, it looks like there's a park in here too, huh?
Well,
Oh,
this whole thing is a park, and I think they've got a lot of camping areas.
Well, through the trees, and I'm not sure if, oh, yeah, there's a tent. There's a tent back in there.
There's,
oh, and facilities, it looks like, maybe restroom.
Bathrooms,
Yeah. Look at that.
Yep, picnic tables.
So I wonder if you probably have to get online to reserve a spot?
I believe some of these are what they call the primitive sites, where you don't have electricity. Not a lot of amenities.
Okay.
So, but I know people that absolutely love that, to come out to some of these camping spots here in the Black River Forest. And I also think, remember fans of ours that had watched our programs on the logging? That this was actually an area that did get logged off. It was part of the cutover.
Okay.
Here's the campground. Pigeon Creek. I didn't know let's just run in there quick.
Okay.
I didn't know they had a Pigeon Creek over here.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, this is kind of nifty. Huh.
Yeah.
And look at, it's got a nice paved road.
And I have my sticker so I can go into any state park. And people, I just have to tell you that was a good deal.
This is like a one-way kind of a thing.
Well, I bet.
Entering fee area. Well, of course. I mean, it's a park. It costs money to run a park.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yep. And I've got my sticker. And no fireworks.
Oh, they've got firewood rack. You can get your wood here. Huh.
This is a pretty good deal, I think. And there is some kind of a lake or something out there. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Or cranberry bog, I'm not sure, but beautiful wildlife area. Pigeon Creek, it's called. Not overrun either, is it?
No, but it's early in the camping season.
Yeah. But there are some people that cannot wait to get out, and they love to tent camp or take their camper or whatever out there. And I say go for it.
Yeah. I don't know if I could sleep on the ground again.
No, I would have to have a lot of padding under me.
maybe get one of those, because tents are a whole different thing from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You had the metal rods, and you had to get the right metal rod.
Yeah,
and
they were difficult.
And the right one, and you needed two people on each side, and it was a mess. But I wonder if they make them big enough to put like a queen-size bed.
There you go.
And it wouldn't even have to be like the box spring and the mattress. You just have the mattress.
Yeah, that'd be enough. Well,
I wonder.
There's
there's a bog. Huh?
Yeah.
And I wonder if they make a pickup truck that's got a bed that's wide enough to put a queen size bed in it.
Well, you could get you could rent our B truck, our 1-ton. It's got that really wide. You could put a king size bed on there.
Oh, there we go. Now we're going camping in style, folks. Look at that. Nancy's got her all figured out.
Yeah, I'm just not into roughing it anymore. I know I'm spoiled and old.
Well, and I like the comfort of, I don't like getting cold at night.
No, that's no fun. Then you can't sleep. It's real cold.
Oh, and it looks, I bet, they've been busy. They've got tree damage, just like everybody else has got tree damage. I was surprised when I was driving up Irvin's Coulee after that last real heavy snow we had a few weeks back. Wow. There's a lot of tree damage out County D and up in that neighborhood. Well, I've seen it all over.
Yeah.
And Bruce and I had a chance to go up to Hayward the other day, and holy Hannah, do they have tree damage up in the north.
Even worse than us.
And they still have snow in the ditches.
Oh, I'm
Whoops,
sure.
I bobbled the camera. Sorry about that.
Oh, well.
And it looks like this is probably a planted pine plantation over here.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Because they're kind of in rows. Now, did you get trees this year, Nancy?
I did. I got them all in the ground, and I know you're still ongoing with your trees.
Still spudding them in.
Yeah. But we just had a rain, folks, so that should help everything take off, hopefully.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
This is such a beautiful drive, Nancy.
Well, it's quiet, and now they promised wildlife, so
Well,
if we don't see a lot of wildlife here, I'm going to complain.
You're not going to complain. You're not going to complain. When do you complain?
Well, I might. Would I complain to the DNR?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think you'd have to just stand in front of your vehicle and go, hey, wildlife, bring it on.
Yeah, I want to see this. According to this information, this is supposed to be just crowded with wildlife here.
Well, I do have to tell you, when we went through the wildlife reserve, we sure did see the turtles,
That's right.
but they were nesting.
Yes,
So there was purpose.
yes, and I don't see any wildlife or any turtles here.
No, I don't. I wonder if there's like woodland turtles. I would assume there is.
Oh, I think so.
But they wouldn't hang out on the road.
Probably not.
No,
Oh.
no, I don't think so.
Now, I've been seeing signs where they have ATV trails,
Okay.
apparently, or
Each
snowmobile.
snowmobile
Yeah.
trail open. And so I wonder if some of those are hiking trails too.
I suppose you can. I guess, why not?
Yeah. Well, I wonder what the wildlife think of that. Huh, never know.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful drive with the dappling of the sun through the trees. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, this is not a vista view, right?
No, this is not a vista view, but I bet you during the summertime when it's hot, it's nice and cool because there's all these big, beautiful pine trees.
Yeah. It's a nice shady road. It's all very, it's paved.
Yeah, mostly pines.
Yeah.
There's oaks interspersed.
So, Jackson County has got, I forget how many acres of state forest and park.
Oh, I think most of Jackson County is forest and park,
The
isn't
east
it?
side especially, yeah. And that was the part that got logged off.
Okay.
And then they tried to sell the land for farming, and it really wasn't suitable for farming.
No, a lot of people got taken advantage
They
of.
did.
Who was it the logging companies that tried to spin the land off as farmland? Who was the
Yeah.
actual owner of?
I think a lot of it was owned by railroads.
Okay.
Yeah. And logging companies too. But they thought, okay, all the trees are gone, now what? Well, what do we do?
Right.
Well, let's sell it for farmland, And so, like you said, a lot of people tried to farm, and it was not a go. It was not a good deal. Hardly anybody was able to pull it off. And a lot of people just lost everything, and they just left. So here the county is stuck with all this land that has got taxes owed on it.
That's in arrears.
Right. And so what they eventually did, and they did this all over Wisconsin where they logged, was they made it into like state parks, county parks. It was good use.
Well, we've got to have wild places, don't we?
Well, would you try to farm this?
Well, no, because this just was harvested. They take the trees out because you need to manage forest land, right? Just like you need to manage grasslands. And so, well, there's a couple of different places to go.
It's a state forest
This is
trailhead. Smraker?
Smraker, and then there's something called Wildcat.
Yeah. This is a ATV route, apparently.
Okay. Look at that.
Oh, there we got some marsh, don't we? With some plants coming up there.
Yeah, look at anything in bloom yet? Not quite.
No, it's just coming.
Just are those cup plants? No.
No. What are those things? What they call them? Swamp cabbage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sure they have a prettier name too, but I don't know what it is.
That's right. But this is beautiful. This is a nice drive, and
Yeah.
it looks like they got moisture here too. Although we're kind of in a rainy spot right now.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Well, at least it's not snow.
Yeah.
The grasses are coming on. I hear the birds chirping loud in the morning. Oh, look, They've been marking trees.
They're doing some management, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Clean her up.
Yep.
Fix the damage. Mother Nature will bring it back.
Yep. No, so far we have not had a lot of traffic, so that thing is correct. That
Yep. We only met one vehicle.
yeah, it's pretty quiet anyway.
That's good. That's good on a nice Sunday drive.
Yeah, why not? Easy to get to, folks, if you really feeling audaciously adventuresome like we are today.
Audaciously adventuresome. You have been reading the dictionary, haven't you? Or did you get a calendar or a word of the day calendar?
Word of the day, yeah, word of the day. Yeah, definitely.
Now, you know, this part of Jackson County does have some pretty wild soil types.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Anything that has marshes and pine trees, and this is kind of lupin territory where it's more open.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy soils. This was drifted, so this was run over by the glaciers, and then as the glacier recedes, it leaves all kinds of weird stuff behind. Wow, some of these trees had pretty good damage, huh?
Yeah. Well, I remember that fire because we were coming north, Larry and I, and
From Florida?
yes, and we got up here, and all of a sudden everything was black and it was still smoking and smoldering. I was like, holy cow, what happened? I guess it was a fire caused by sparks from a train, I believe.
Okay.
And it was funny because you could look into the woods and you could see the deer in there because everything was black, and it was just really easy to see all the wildlife. It was a pretty bad fire. I think it was actually a crown fire where it got up and
got up
bad.
And those types of fires create their own winds.
Yes.
And that's why they're so dangerous.
Because I had a friend that was a fireman from Taylor, and they had gotten called out. Ooh, here's rocks,
Oh,
Larry.
rocks. Look at the outcropping.
Outcroppings.
Look at the outcroppings.
And there's little ferns growing out of them.
Look at that. Isn't that incredible?
It's beautiful.
And this got left here. Oh, there's somebody's home way up there. Huh? Living in the rocks?
You want to go see what's in there?
Absolutely not. I like my fingers, because you know if I went up there, I'd be sticking my hand in there.
Yeah.
And that badger would come out or something and
Woodchuck.
take off my fingers. I like my fingers right where they are. Oh, and that's an oak split out in the ditch. Oh, I bet you this was quite a mess. And this is probably a big rock dump from the glacier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this part of Jackson County it's like being up north.
It is.
Without being up north.
It's very unique.
It is. And I think that this area got logged, and the problem was they said that this was one of the last areas to get logged.
Oh.
And that was because it was so swampy.
Okay.
That they had problems getting the logs out, but they figured out they could run these little narrow gauge little railroad tracks.
Okay.
That weren't permanent. They just kind of put them out there, and then they were able to they set up these little towns that aren't here anymore with sawmills.
Okay.
And so they would bring in the logs that way on these little trains and take them to the sawmill. And when that was all done, everything was done. The little towns were gone, the sawmills were gone.
And that was the end of that.
Yep, and this is the Wildcat Trailhead.
Yep, and they've got nice parking area, picnic tables.
Bathrooms.
Yep, they've got those freestanding grills. Hey, perfect place to come and have a picnic.
We should have brought some hot dogs, Mary.
We should have. Now you bring up food. Now I'm going to be hungry. Unreal. Looks like in here there was kind of like a selective cut done.
Yeah.
Open it up a little bit. Yeah, this is a really neat drive. Oh, I see wildlife, Nancy.
There
I
is
see a
something
turkey.
up there.
I see a turkey.
There's
That's
a
the noise that
turkey.
they make.
Mary does a really good turkey imitation.
I do. I do, because we used to raise turkeys, and I have a tendency to talk to my animals.
You were good at that too.
Oh, I called in a bunch of toms one day I was putting laundry on the clothesline, and they were up in the pine trees up behind me.
Did they come down?
They came down,
Oh.
yes. And of course, I was kind of hiding behind the sheets blowing in the wind, and so they really couldn't see me, right? So, yeah, I have fun with stuff like that.
Fun with turkeys.
Fun with turkeys. Yes.
And Mary.
Fun
Mary.
with turkeys.
Fun with Mary and turkeys.
See, I have all these talents, Nancy, that you don't know about.
Well, I think we go straight here. Yeah, there's an arrow, I guess.
Is there? Yep, there's an arrow that says ATV.
Oh, well, I think it's this way because it's called Settlement Road.
Settlement Road,
The
yeah.
name of this road is actually Settlement Road, so that's what you got to stay on.
And we got to say those names so that you guys know where to come out and find me. Because, you know, oh, let's take this road, Mary. Wink, wink. Yeah, I get
Quick,
it.
Mary, get out here and go check on that
Go
turkey.
check my tire. Go check
Yeah.
my tire.
Yeah.
Feels funny.
Walk over there in the pine trees and tell me if there are some unique flowers over there.
Yeah, she's gonna leave me for the bears to get.
Or the buzzards.
Now, have you heard, has there been any bear sightings in Trempealeau County this spring?
I haven't heard, but I'm sure they're done hibernating by now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're out of the ground. They're out of the ground. Or out of the cave, or out of their nice
Wherever.
little wood pile that they made for themselves.
Because I think they even will dig holes in the middle of fields too.
Yes, yes,
I saw a picture of where a combine fell into one.
yes. And that was like up by Osseo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, there's quite a few wet pockets in here. Oh, and bloops. You know, you can't go anywhere these days without running into a few of them potholes.
Yeah, well,
It's pothole fixing season, you know.
yeah.
Now that the road crews are able to go back out and work.
And if you're not flying along here at 80 miles an hour, I guess, you know, you can deal with these potholes.
Exactly.
Drive around them.
Exactly. Wow. This is beautiful, Nancy.
Well, it's unlike a lot of our roads that we're on because it's not involving a lot of going up and down hills and curves and
Well, we did go through that little bit of a cut, didn't we? Back there?
yeah, but that's
I think that was the biggest hill. No, the Bruce Mound that's Clark County Forest, isn't it? Where they've got the ski resort.
I think so, or really close to the state or to the county line. Anyway.
There is not a lot of huge hills like we have in Buffalo and Trempealeau in Jackson County.
No.
Jackson County's flatter, especially as you referenced over on the eastern side. You know, it's pretty flat.
Yeah, this is not like the farmland around Melrose and North Bend, is it?
It is not.
No.
Completely different type of ground. And that's, I think, why the pine trees do so well here. Plus, the soil's very acidic.
Yeah. So I can't imagine the people that tried to farm here. That must have been terribly hard.
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
It must have been. And a lot of these people that bought this land had bought it sight unseen. A lot of them were immigrants, and they were down in places like Chicago,
Milwaukee, and didn't know the language.
Yep, they had these bills out about this farmland, and it was cheap, and they just thought, well, here's our dream. You know?
Well, most of them were farmers
Yep.
coming from Europe,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, and they had, you know, and they were not honest. The people that were selling this land did not present it honestly.
What you're telling us, Nancy, is the people with the money weren't being honest to the poor people. They were taking advantage of.
No, they certainly weren't.
How did I miss that?
And I've had people tell me about their ancestors, their great grandpa or whatever, that had bought into this cut over land, and they had different ways of selling it. They said they took a group of them up to see this land, but they did it in the middle of winter when it was snow on the ground.
Oh, so you couldn't see what was going on.
So when they came back in the spring, it was all stumps.
Oh,
all stumps under the
really?
snow, and they couldn't see it.
oh, and you know how hard it is to grub
Ah.
stumps?
That's right. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
and that was what defeated a lot of them. But then after World War I, and they had all these armaments left over, they started selling people dynamite, and you could buy it at the feed mill.
What was I know about stick dynamite.
Yeah.
But what was the stuff that was in the glass bottles that was so explosive?
Well, that like nitroglycerin or
Yes,
something?
there you go. That's what it is, nitroglycerin. You know, and now they got tannerite, which is like this powder you can mix together, but you like shoot at it and it blows up pumpkins and stuff like that.
Well, I guess some people that were able to get the stumps out, a lot of them did use dynamite, but that had to be dangerous. And
Well,
Oh.
I mean, in the day, what do? Dig a hole, stuff it in there, light it, and run away?
run.
And then what happens if that stick didn't go off?
Well, then you got to go back and find out why. Yeah.
Oh no,
It was not an
kaboom.
easy thing. And you see, yeah, a lot of these people, they just got taken on this land. And it was sad because they had such high hopes, you know, here they were going to have their farm,
Yes.
and it just...
The American dream.
Yeah. Instead, they wound up, a lot of them just lost everything. Nothing. It just,
Swindled, and then they moved to town.
yep.
'Cause what else you gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy, huh?
Yeah, it was us.
Man's inhumanity to man.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have we learned nothing? Huh?
Maybe not. And, yeah, maybe not buy land.
If you can't look at it first.
Yeah. And not in the middle of winter.
And maybe talk to somebody about it too. You know, there's resources out there.
Find out what the soil types are, if nothing else.
Oh, we've got more wildlife. I think we have a white-tailed deer in the
Is
distance.
that what it is?
Yeah, it's a deer crossing the road.
As long as it's not an elk. I don't
Hey.
want to hit an elk.
Why did the deer cross the road?
Uh-oh.
To get to the other side.
Oops, yeah, there it went. Now waiting to see if we've got family members along with it. But I guess.
Well, on our way down here, we got to see a number of deer groups.
Yeah, it's something I see on a daily basis.
Well, you know what I think's going on with the deer? Right now, I think the moms are trying to run away from last year's babies.
Yeah, kick them out.
Yeah, get out of here. We got a fawn coming. You better get out of my way. So I'm just going to run across the road in front of a car.
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's right. Leave me alone, you teenager deer.
Yeah, that's always a scary time of year when those teenagers are deer that have gotten kicked out of the family group for a
That's
while.
right.
They really don't know what they're doing.
And then before you know it, then we've got to watch for the moms and the fawns.
Yep.
Because the fawns are learning how to cross that road. You know, I think the only speed signs I've seen on this road, Nancy, have been on the corners.
Probably, yeah.
You know, just slow down a little bit. This is a sharp one, 20 miles an hour. Oh, and look at that. Nancy's breaking the speed limit over here, guys.
No, speed limit's
22.
45.
No, that sign back there said it was 20.
Really? Oh, that's the corner. Ah!
Look at, I bet you those are little blueberries starting, huh?
Yeah, people used to come over here to pick blueberries.
Or cranberries, right? Cranberries like boggy.
They said that description of this road said there would be cranberry bogs, so
Okay.
we're waiting to see them. All right, here's another curve up here.
Here's
20
another
miles.
curve as Nancy's tearing us through the countryside.
I'm just a blur going down
Yeah.
the road.
There you go.
And a lot of water, isn't there?
Yeah.
Wet spots.
And I wonder if that water's just from the storms this last week, you know, and
Yeah.
if they'll drain out. But with all the pine needles, as pine needles decompose, they're pretty acidic.
Yeah, and they soak things up, don't they?
And blueberries like acidy ground. Have you ever done blueberries?
Not with any success.
Yeah, I haven't either. I think our soil's too rich, even though I put a bunch of that stuff on it that's supposed to change your pH. And I lined the bottom with stuff that I got out of the, the pines by our place. And well, that one time I got like 3 berries in the day before, because you watch them like a hawk. Deer came through and ate them.
Well, that was the problem. My mom had quite a big blueberry bush, but it was always a race to see, was it the birds and the deer that got them before she did. So it was problematic.
Well, I think it's hard to do if you live in a rural area, unless you've got a lot of them with fence around them,
Yeah, the thing was that they used to ship boxcar loads of blueberries out of Whitehall.
Really?
Yes. Back in I think it was like the 1880s and 1890s, when Trempealeau County was still basically prairie.
Oh, okay. Here's our bogs.
Oh, here's a swampy thing. Huh?
Yeah.
You see anything out there, like a crane or a duck?
I would like to see one of those elk. There is a young bull elk that's been living over by Whitehall.
I think they saw it last year. I don't know if they've seen it this year.
Yeah, they've got pictures. A friend of my husband kind of sits and waits with a camera and watches, and apparently he's a pretty big boy. He's grown up on good Trempealeau County groceries.
Yeah, but is he gonna find any lady friends, or is he gonna be, I don't know, do they cross with the whitetails?
No, they're like 5 times as big.
Ah.
They're 5 times bigger, I should say. So I don't know if that is a event that can take place interspecies like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, this is getting to look pretty boggy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you got those fingers of wet. You can see the water. Wow, this is pretty. Oh, now we've got birch.
Yeah.
Let's see. A little bit of change in the trees, birch and popples. Yeah.
More wetlands.
Here we go. There's our wetlands. And those darn shrubs, they really do like to take over where it's wet.
It's like those tag alders.
Yep. Very pretty. Very pretty.
And another thing that Trempealeau County used to be noted for was people would come hunting prairie chickens.
There was prairie chickens in Trempealeau
There were
County?
a lot of prairie chickens. There were stories of people going out and coming back with like 50 at a time.
Oh, wow. Well, that's why
Why there aren't any more prairie chickens.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't have the prairie anymore. Prairie chickens have to have a prairie habitat. They don't.
Tall grass.
They don't hang out in the woods.
No, tall grass is what they need. Well, and so much of Trempealeau County that was prairie is now woods.
Yep. Yeah. Once they stopped burning it, it became something different. And the acidity in the soil, I guess, changed too.
Well, and if you're draining, because there was a lot of draining of wetlands in the day, right?
Yeah.
And where would blueberries and cranberries have grown? Where it was more acidic and wet, right?
Right. So things have changed. People that think that Trempealeau County has always been wooded, no, it used to be hardly any woods.
Well, and Nancy, a lot of trees that we see now, especially the plantation type trees, those were CRP trees in one of the farm crises of the 80s.
Yeah.
When
planting trees.
We lost a whole bunch of dairy farms, and people were going bankrupt left and right, and foreclosures were taking place, and a lot of that highly erodible land, the steep stuff, got planted into CRP trees for 20 or 30 years
Yep.
or whatever the contract lengths were. Okay, this is Potter's.
Okay, that I think if you
Potter's
went down that
Road.
way, there might be cranberries, possibly, because I know there's a Potter's
Cranberry, yep.
cranberries. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that guy's pretty big into cranberries all
Yeah,
over the place,
yeah,
isn't he?
big outfit.
Boy, you know,
A lot
there's...
of birch.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Out Nancy's window. Well, she's screaming down the highway.
Here we go. We can pop in here real quick and see what this is all about.
And I've noticed there's been a number of, I'm going to call them like simple parking areas.
Mm-hmm. Where you can get out and walk.
And then there's been
Bring
more
your dog.
more complex. More
What does
complex.
one
This
say?
is Dyke 17 Wildlife
Oh,
Area.
yeah. This is interesting.
Look at that.
I had
Rocky
been
Mountain
out
Elk
here.
Foundation.
Yep, there used to be farms out here,
Okay.
and there was some kind of a program where they bought them all out to
Okay.
help establish this area. Now there used to be a viewing platform out here that you could climb up on,
Okay.
and when you got up on, you could see for a long, long way because it's flat.
Right.
And if you didn't know any better, you'd think you were way up,
Way up north?
way up north, yeah. But I don't think that viewing thing is here anymore. At least that's what I've heard.
Well, maybe sometime when we're not busy taping TV shows, we could take a hike.
Right. And so when is that going to be, Mary?
Well,
It's like Mary and I both just lay around all the time. My gosh. We sit around in our pajamas and
eating bonbons, watching
yeah,
soap operas.
Yep, eating Cocoa Puffs. Boy,
There you go. That's,
that's life.
every day. Every day. I would be bored, Nancy. I
Well,
couldn't do that.
I know, but there's people that enjoy it. I'm just saying that is why we are not out producing these quality programs constantly.
Ooh, there was a mama deer right there. Big doe in the woods. We're not going to get a picture because we can't. Well, I do have that other camera. I could try to zoom.
You can describe her.
She was brown with ears and a tail.
And a white tail.
And a white tail, but we couldn't see the white
No.
because it was down, which means she wasn't feeling threatened.
No,
So she's not afraid of you, Nancy.
she's comfortable.
She's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's see. We've gotten to see turkeys. We've gotten to see deer.
Turkey. There was one turkey.
Okay. Turkey, deer.
Yeah.
We've got to see some wetlands. We got to see some pine trees and some birch trees and oak trees and cut up piled trees because of bad storms. Do you know how many acres this site is?
No, it's a pretty big site. I had read somewhere how many acres of Jackson County were actually state and county forest, and it was like a lot, like thousands of acres. So, yeah, this is a big area. Lots of room for wildlife.
And you said that this road is, what, 12 miles long or something?
12.3 miles long.
12.3?
Yeah.
So it's not too terribly long of a drive?
No. This is because they said a rustic road has to be at least 2 miles long.
Well, the one that we did down in La Crosse, that was only like 5 or something, wasn't it?
That was pretty short.
It was a little one?
Yeah. That was not a real long one.
Well, and I hope that when people come out here, they don't throw their beer cans out the window.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Kind of goes without saying.
I mean,
doesn't it?
please don't do that.
I know it. That is so disgusting.
I noticed the other day when I was driving on a back road, somebody threw a couch in the ditch.
Oh, jeez.
I would, if there would be a way to identify that, and I know we see it up our valley all the time. Somebody buys a box of beer at the local wherever, and then those beer cans are littering up and down our valley road.
You can just follow the trail, huh?
Excuse me. Now I'm laughing. Oh, there was a nice little babbling brook back there, Nancy.
Yeah?
Yeah, babbling brook. Water running. Yeah, but you know, don't throw your garbage out.
No.
And I think we see that now that the snow is gone, before it gets to be too thick with tall grass. Everybody, pick up your garbage. Don't throw it out.
I know.
Don't throw it out in the
disgusting.
ditch.
Oh,
You know.
a squiggle sign.
Oh, look at that.
That's
See,
not
Jax?
just Trempealeau County. Jackson County has them too.
No, we're not going to talk about the sign catalog again,
No,
are we?
No. I never did find a catalog with signage in it that we can see how much they cost.
I was recently at a conference out of state, and there was a sign company there, and that's kind of like their deal. They make signs, custom signs, and they had frog crossing
Oh,
and lizard crossing.
wow.
And I thought to myself, oh, I should get an angleworm crossing sign.
Boy, yeah.
Because yesterday morning when I drove out our driveway, because we've got, you know, managed pasture, so we've got lots of grass. Our driveway was like carnage, Nancy.
Yeah, I know we've had these I call them worm rains, where it comes out in the morning and there's worms all over the driveway.
Yes. Too many to pick up and throw in the ditch.
I try to pick up some of the bigger ones and put them over on the grass and the dirt, but that would take me all day. There were a lot.
Well, Nancy, that would cut into your bonbon time.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
I know. I gotta have my several hours of coffee and bonbons.
Yeah, it starts at like 4 o'clock in the morning,
Yep,
doesn't it?
Yep. Pretty much. That's what happens when you're retired.
Yeah, like you're retired.
And
Nancy doesn't always tell the truth, you guys.
I'm pretty truthful.
Yeah, but you're not retired. You're about as retired as I am.
Well, I'm not as busy as you are, thank goodness. But I like to stay busy. I don't want to start going down that slippery slope of sloth.
There's too much to do.
Yeah.
There's too much to do.
There's never any shortage.
And this has been awesome. Now, where does this come out on?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
No. It comes out on Highway 54, just east of Black River.
East of Black River
Yep.
on 54.
Yep.
And 54 is the road that you would take if you were going to...
Wisconsin Rapids.
Yes.
Or City Point.
It was more of a water body over there. Kind of looking like a river, maybe.
Really? Oh, it could be, or
Yeah.
it could be what they call them out here, flowage.
Yep,
For the
flowage.
For the cranberry bogs and things.
Yeah, those impoundments are pretty impressive. Oh, see?
Oh, yeah, here is something.
She's going to drive off, and she's going to leave me here. I know it. What I always find so cool is the color of the water. Because it's high in tannins, it's kind of that cocoa color. And it's actually really pretty. It's a pretty color that you only get to see if you go through some of these, like Clark County and Jackson County. And this flows, that's one stream that flows into another. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just unreal.
Watch where you're stepping.
Yeah, she's gonna drive off on me, you know that.
Well, Mary, what did you see down there?
I saw alligator.
Aha!
No, I'm just teasing Nancy. There's no alligators. There's
But
no alligators.
If you were in Florida or Georgia right now,
there would be alligators.
that would be perfect alligator habitat, believe me.
Oh, this
And
is
it like
pretty.
a little river or what is
Yeah,
it?
it's a river. See, she knows where we're going.
Yeah.
So I would assume this is probably a feeder stream that it could potentially flow into the Black, right?
Yeah? Yeah, I'll have to look on them.
Oh, there's an alligator.
No.
Nancy's spaceship car hollers at me.
It doesn't want us to be driving without our seatbelts.
Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, I wonder if they could. Oh, there we go. Somebody's in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really flowing. And you know, the Black River, I guess, was running pretty high this year.
Yeah.
But I think at least inland Wisconsin, outside of like the Trempealeau flooding, which that always floods.
Yeah.
Our flooding has been pretty contained. The Mississippi, however, as the snow is melting north, has been a handful.
Oh, what does the sign say? No, this is not that,
No,
name that road,
No.
but it does tell us something here.
it does have a stop, which we always celebrate, the
Yep.
stop sign. And now we are coming out, Nancy, where? Highway 54?
Right.
We
We
are
are-
at Black River.
We are east of Black River. And as you can see, if you're driving here, there are big signs so you can find your way here pretty easily. Should you care to do so?
There we go.
Yeah. And, well, that was fun.
That was fun, Nancy.
And people, if you want to, take a ride, take a drive, this is an easy one, pretty easy road and easy to get to.
Easy roads to get to it.
Yeah.
An easy road to travel on.
Yeah.
And an easy road to get back.
And when you get back to Black River, you could, lots of places to eat there, lots of places to, spend some money, have some ice cream or whatever.
Well, and I like 54. I mean, I know it's a really kind of a straight shot road, but it's really eclectic. You get to drive through some forest. You get to see some big, expansive wetlands.
Yeah, you do.
It's just a pretty drive.
Yeah, it's an easy drive, isn't it?
Yes, because it's pretty straight. I mean, there's a few curves here and there, and you get to go up and down a couple of hills. But, I mean, it's a nice, easy drive.
Oh, here's some kind of a flowage here.
Yep, here's some. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I bet you that's going to be full of ducks and geese and fishermen, because trout was this weekend, wasn't it? Are you a fisherwoman?
No, I'm not, but I think you're right. This is that time of year, and looks like there's people up here that are out fishing, aren't they?
There you go. Now, do you eat fish? Do you like fish?
Yeah, but my fishing usually means going down to the East End and getting their Friday fish fry.
Oh, this winter we tried fish from 3, 4, 5 different places, and it was all really good.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
No, and so if you ever need a good fish fry, Trempealeau County is where to go.
Yep. Well, I suppose what we're going to do now, Mary, is we're going to have to sign off.
Yes, before our batteries explode, because I feel my little camera,
They're getting hot.
They're getting hot. Mine's down to about 17%, and so
Now, before smoke starts coming out of the GoPros, we're going to have to say, well, thank you for riding with us on this country cruise.
Yes.
On Rustic Road number 54 in lovely Jackson County, and it was a nice Sunday cruise. So
Yes, it was very nice.
Yeah, so thanks for coming along.
Haha, she didn't drive off without me.
Still here.
Do-do-do. Yeah.
For his courageous action in battle between U.S. troops and Chinese communists and
Pretty profound. Gave his life up for the rest of his group. And it says this marker is near Red Cloud's birthplace and adjoins the site of Winnebago powwow grounds. To the northwest 1.5 miles is the Indian Mission and the old Decorah Cemetery where he is buried. Wow. Just think of all the families that are families because of Mitchell Red Cloud Jr.
yeah, this guy was an incredible hero. And I just feel like everybody in County G, as in gorgeous.